with that lovely transition, let's turn the page to someone who's runs across several different topics that we talk about. He's influential in crypto. He's on social networks. He talks about US. He talks about world events. So Elon Musk did a very interesting interview, several interesting interviews lately. But the one topic I wanted to talk about that I think it was either on Tucker Carlson or the BBC show. Plenty of them were lots of good clips out of that. But let's see, this story was talking about Elon says that U.S. government has access to private Twitter DMs. That's only some of what that's out there. But the way I wanted to look at this is that, what is the ramifications of all this of Twitter having this access, and is this going to lead us down to is this going to accelerate the path to Web 3.0? That was my question. Is the private information that's out there and you're protecting your sources, and what's going to probably come out of here is that all the different people that had different conversations that thought that were private but aren't on these social platforms, are we going to lose these social platforms? Or are we going to see decentralized social platforms that are going to rise? There are some projects that are out there that do that, but is Web 3.0 going to accelerate because of this? Dylan, I see you nodding your head. I'd love to get your take on that.
Yeah, I think there's probably a distinction between Web3 and certain decentralized social media platforms. They don't necessarily mean the same thing. I think that's important. There's a Web3 narrative being pushed by a lot of these kind of venture-backed crypto projects that's not necessarily as decentralized as you might think. And so there's that. But then there's projects like Nostr out there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's like Twitter, but fully decentralized, and it's still early on, but it allows just a decentralized communication across the social network, which is pretty cool. So I think there's going to be that kind of stuff moving into the space. I mean, if companies get CEOs like Elon Musk start taking over and like, hey, we don't want this a part of our company, then you'll see some of those government tendrils maybe be exposed or pushed out. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't think I think it's surprising that someone would think that their DMs are encrypted on any sort of social media platform. That seems like a risk that you shouldn't really take if you're discussing sensitive information. You got to be careful with who you message on social media. But it's not surprising the government had access to these things as well.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that the distinction between the three different layers of web what they're talking about, Web 3.0. Real quickly, Web 1.0 is the early version of the internet where you can only read it, so it's read only. Web 2.0 is read and write. You provide information to websites, but they own that data that you provide. And now we're looking at read, write, and own. You would own the data. You decide who gets it, who gets shared with, and what you want, like medical records, personal information, credit cards, addresses, that kind of stuff. So, Patrick, have we lost? I'll open up to everything that Elon said last week. Have we? How much did you agree with what Elon's talking about? There was so much to talk about, but are we heading towards Web 3.0, or have we lost control of these networks? What's your take on all those things?
So the way I really feel about this entire topic is we should always be operating under the assumption that anything we do and say online can and will be used against us. So again, there's a reason why I tell everybody on this show that I'll never tell everybody the exact truth. You must not reveal the things online that keep you and your family safe. I don't know what else to say about that. So the idea for me is that should anyone go through and get all of my Facebook messages, yeah, some of my friends may be a little butthurt that I spoke some crap about them, but that would be about the worst that would happen to me, right? Like my wife isn't going to find out like I'm cheating on her or something. Go ahead, go through my phones, go through everything. I'm not worried about what financial information you might find on my phone.